Say you king told me. Started at the bottom, south side of capitalism. Heaven sent, but raised in a mental prison. Often cry, cause mama always had a struggle.
It's hard being broke and living on the bubble.
New state, new faces, a new me. New school, I'm that dude, made varsity. New haters, old jokes and scrutiny. No patience, talk shit and issue with me. A go-getter with hella letters and scholarships. Balled out, big numbers and white chips. Went to college, had fun and we won a ship. Live for the Lord, but damn you man, he love the chicks. Baptized, saved, holy and sanctified. Preaching gospel, say every day but Friday nights. Lost boy on the team that made bad decisions. I trouble man inside my head but with a clear vision. Lost my love for ball, he really killed my passion. I done this too long to change up, man, I'm old fashioned. Bounce back to get snubbed but I ain't tripping. Got my degree, a job, and then I saw my mission. Educated, conscious, yeah, your boy has risen. Now that I know I'm God, I got to go get him down. Down, can't hold me down. Down, can't hold me down. Down, I say, you can't hold me.
The ones you need to listen to is whoever's willing to talk it. Whoever's willing to mention the truth in whatever shape or form, you need to soak that up. You know, all information, even soak up that bad information too. And that's what this is gonna be about. This is gonna be challenging people's minds. You know what I'm saying? Really coming at them. Am I rolling?
Maybe not.
I mean, can I get going?
I mean, hold on.
Hell yeah. Shout out to the internet. That's the name of that group right there. They're smooth, man. Dope. They got dope tracks. My favorite, Girl, Just Saying, I Tried. Yeah, internet, y'all heard it first, man. So what's up? This your boy, the Life Speaker, aka Evan Cook. Yes, aka my first name. We gonna learn what my real name is, but that's a journey process I'm gonna take y'all on, and that's what this is all about right here. I'm gonna bring y'all into my oasis, and I'm gonna just dive into y'all minds and let y'all dive into mine. And I really want y'all, as I speak and I broaden my topic scale, I want y'all to broaden y'all perspective, broaden your mindset. You know, and I want you to look at, in the background we got artwork done by my mother, VLC. Look for her coming soon. They will be available because I know they'll look good in your house too. So, but yeah, what this is starting this web series, starting this YouTube channel, and we just gonna pretty much talk about issues that don't nobody want to talk about, the things and the solutions to what need to be done in our communities. Me, myself, I'm from Oklahoma. I moved up to Federal Way, Washington when I was 14 years old. Attended Top Beamer High School, played sports there, went to college, played football, Eastern Washington University, # Go Eags. Won a national championship, did a lot there. Graduated, married the woman of my dreams, landed a job, became a police officer, worked for a couple years, close to a couple years as a police officer. Really found out that I wasn't in love with being a cop. Some things really didn't sit well with me, especially around the time, you know, and if you know who I am now, you know, you see how like, I hate to use the terminology pro-black, but you see how like pro-Africa I am, or how much I return home to my natural self as far as my concept of believing in Africa as our motherland. You'll be like, how the hell was this man ever a cop? How was he ever a police officer? And I'm telling you, like, learning about evolution and watching myself grow and evolve, my hair has never been this long, ever, you know? So your mind changes, things change as your mind starts to develop and it starts to expand, like just new things. You start to remember who you are. You know, you don't learn anything, you're only remembering, because when you come in here, you're given what you're supposed to. But that's way down the line. We ain't even there yet, you know. But I'm gonna take y'all down this long lineage. A little bit about what I do now. I left being a police officer. I just started up a business, becoming a public speaker. And so as I'm becoming this public speaker and I'm finding out how to market myself, I have a mentor, Jafon Seeley. Really inspired me and pushed me into that lane. And he goes around and he speaks. Had the pleasure of going and watch him rock the mic in Tacoma at a spiritual center. Really drove me into that avenue, and I was like, okay, what's my target audience? Who really needs this message? Who needs to hear the truth? Who needs their mind changed the most? I wonder. And after sitting and pondering on it, I go, all right, probably like my nephew, he just got to high school. So, all right, he's 15, about 14, 15. Really, it's a universal message, but the people who need it the most are the people going through transitions, because the hardest times are transitional periods. When you're transitioning from middle school to high school, when you're transitioning from high school to college, when you're transitioning from college into the real world, there's no real guidance or definite answer for us. It's just almost like, all right, peace out, going to the next phase. It's like, well, what do I expect? You're just walking into something new. So as my nephew's doing this, and as I went through this without zero guidance and just really trying to understand who I am and what I can do, what my purpose on earth is, I really could have used a hand. And so I'm a writer. I love to write. Writing's how I express myself. So I wrote it all out. Whatever I wanted to do, I wrote it all out. All my dreams, all my passions, like, what do you want to become, Evan? I ask myself those deep questions, like, who are you? What do you believe in? I encourage you, go sit in front of the mirror, just look at yourself, just stare at yourself, just like I'm staring at you right now, and just ask yourself, who am I? Who are you as a person? What do you believe in? What do you belong to? Because you need to know. If you don't know, you have no clue where you're going. You have no clue where you've been. And this is our problem as a society, black people in particular, other people too, but black people in particular. I talk to the black people because I'm black, and we're in the biggest mess. So this is who this message is going to. This universal message is mainly centered towards black people. And so I write down these things. How can I free myself as a person? How can I change? How can I develop? Because you be the change you want to be, right? That's what led me into becoming a police officer, when I understood that being a police officer wasn't how I was going to change the world. Okay, what am I supposed to do? I realized I got gifts, I got talents, I can speak, I can do music, I can write, I can do all these different things. Okay, let me go get to these avenues and really put my hand in as far as I can and influence them in the best way possible. And just developing this, I just learned to write everything. Write it all out. How do you feel? What do you want done? See it, visualize it. Learning about the 12 universal laws in African spirituality, you learn that the universe works mentally. So now I'm learning that I can just attract all of this stuff to me. And it's like, from being somewhere in a mindset that's completely different to just evolving into this new creation. It's just like, man, you witness and you testify to the universal laws just working. I'm a living testament. And so this whole curriculum and everything that I drew up, everything that I've written down, mind, body, soul transformation, how do you do it? I wrote it up, I did it, I applied it, and it was just by diving within myself, learning, really connecting back to nature, changing the way I thought, changing the way I ate, changing the way I acted as a person, changing what I saw, changing what I heard, changing who was around my life. Really, really making sure I'm hitting the checks and balances of what needs to be around me to help me grow to the best me I can be. And so I want to take you guys on this journey with me. This is what my life became after leaving being a police officer. It's a big ass mess. It's a big mess. Some stuff you'll learn now, some stuff you'll learn later, but it's just a mess. And so now what I do, what it became was I mentor kids. My heart's heavy right now because I mentor kids between two high schools. I'm a football coach as well. I'm a substitute teacher. I work with various organizations to kind of promote change and really help the community out in whatever way I can. And the biggest way I do that now is through my mentorship. And at one school, I'm a part of a mentor program, and at the other school, I'm developing my own. And so at the school I'm developing my own, Decatur High School, one of my students, one of my kids that I was going to mentor and really looked forward to working with was shot and killed last night. You know, and it just, I woke up to this information just, and it's been weighing on my heart. And there's a candlelight service for the brother later on this evening, and this stuff gotta stop. And that's why I do what I do. I left being a police officer because I can't get to the kids how I need to threaten to shoot them and arrest them, or being a part of the same system that's doing the same thing. You know, I can't. I'm a sellout if I'm doing that. At least that's how I feel. You know, no shade on the brothers and sisters that do it and I actually believe they're making a change. I commend you. I couldn't. I had to go find my lane to make a change, and I'd rather get to students before they got to them. But the biggest thing that we're seeing now is like the cops killing us, we're killing us, and it seems like our back's against the wall and we ain't got no hope. Or we ain't got nobody to come in and tell us nothing. And in Federal Way, Washington, gentrification is hitting us so hard that the school system don't know how to handle these kids. Not saying that the school system is a solution, because I mean we've all been miseducated anyway, you know. So, but these kids, they have no structure there, no structure in the home. Pops is locked up. I'm seeing kids with different diagnoses of ADHD. You know, but I subscribe to people like Dr. Umar Johnson, and I really rock with his work that he's doing for young black males in their mind. And I know that he teaches that ADHD is a made-up disease. It's a made-up condition that they are subjugating our people with to try and get our minds distorted so that they can keep us in the condition that we're in as a people. I recognize these things now, and I recognize that the biggest fight that we're going to have to hit, other than the church, is going to be these schoolyards. It's going to be these hallways, because there's just no accountability, no discipline, and it's hard. And the hardest part is when you're a coach and you're trying to win a game, but you know that the problem you're dealing with on why you can't get your team to come together and focus is rooted because they ain't eating well in school. They're not being taught anything in school. They're doing whatever they want to at school. The same thing at home. And then you expect this sport to provide all of those ingredients that they need. You expect the sports to provide the discipline, the respect, the accountability, and then teaching the fundamentals and skills of actually doing the sport. How can you do that? You can't be effective as a coach if I got to be daddy too. That's why I had to come to you live. I tried to be with other people and other things, but they say you want something done, you got to do it yourself. And so one of the things I'm really going to try and rock with is I'm going to challenge you guys to think. And like I said, it's be willing to expand your mind. If you're going to rock with me, be willing to expand your mind, because this type of information is really only for the willing. It's only for the people who's willing to go to the depths within, to really explore and want to sit on and believe the truth, or what you can perceive as the truth, to your ultimate knowledge. And knowledge is all you got. If you got knowledge, if you know it, can't nobody tell you nothing. Can't nobody tell you nothing if you know something. So, but we don't know anything. And our knowledge has been replaced with faith. And they're like, okay, just have faith in it. And everybody's like, oh, the faith is just the big common denominator on how this whole universe works. Incorrect. No. You know what I'm saying? This universe has a process. This universe has a structure. And the same structure it's the same. The sun is under the same influence, the same laws, and the same governance of the universe. The stars, you, the ant, the trees, everything. Even how this camera's working right now, you know what I'm saying, has to have the same fundamental laws and principles of the universe to even function. And it's crazy because I was in church today. I ain't been in church in a minute. And I was in church today, and it was talking about how nature was wicked, and how that people are born into sin, and nature makes us this way. And it's Ephesians 2. And I'm just going to be broad right now. I know there's some Bible thumpers out there that's going to be trying to press the issue with me, talking about, you need to say a specific verse. I used to be one of those people too, but I'm just going to say what I'm saying. It's talking about being anti-nature and pro-Christ.
you know, but I can show you the way that that nature works is what brings sustainability and function to all of our worlds. And I can show you that anywhere Christ has landed, there's been war and chaos. So are we, you know what I'm saying, do we really know what we read and what we putting into our bodies and into our minds, and we wonder why we stuck in this spot? We're spirits. And all of this stuff is going to be covered in detail, you know, but I want you guys to start just to get some prerequisites out the way. You know, subscribe to people like Dr. John Henry Clark, who actually do this, you know, African historians who really have done diligent work in the reconstruction of the African mind. Dr. Yosef Ben Yochanan, Dr. Ivan Van Sertima. People always wonder where he be getting his information. I read books. I made a decision to stop playing video games. Start investing in books. That $60 that you putting in on 2K that ain't doing nothing for you, that's a few books, you know what I'm saying? At least one really good one and a nice little side book with it. You know, like there's 3, 4, 5 books depending on who you subscribing to. Like, and this is knowledge. Knowledge is power, but the application of it is much more important. And we so divided as a people that we don't even want to come together and know some of this stuff. And that's what we got to change here. And we're going to start right here in Federal Way, Washington. We're going to start in Tacoma, Washington. Anybody close to me who's willing to work, we're going to meet up and we're going to start. We're going to get the knowledge that we need to move forward. We're going to get the technology that we need, the resources that we need to move forward as a people. And we're going to do this in the right way so that situations that happen like last night ain't happening because our brothers and sisters aren't taught anymore to go out and kill each other. You know what I'm saying? Their music is teaching them to love their brothers and sisters, you know, as opposed to kill their brothers and sisters. Their music's teaching them to heal each other with our words. Our words have so much meaning. Our tongue holds so much power, you know, but we just let it fly loosely because of what we hear and what we see, you know, and it's just what we see done. So we're all raised up. So it's just what we see done. So we gonna do the same thing, not knowing. And this thing is killing. That's why I call it spelling, because you're casting spells when you're talking to people. We need to start speaking life, you know, but we have to be taught how. We really need to be sat down and taught how. Dr. Joy DeGruy, she does great work with a book, Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome. For you people who don't like to read, she got a lecture too for Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome, because we all suffer from it in one facet or another. She breaks it down for us real nice. I teach this stuff. I'm the advisor for the Black Student Union at Todd Beamer High School. I teach them all types of African history, true African history, and letting them know that we don't start with shackles and slave ships. You know, that was just an interruption. That was an interruption of the greatness that we was already doing before anybody else even walked this earth. You know, African people was here eating, surviving, pyramids built. Ain't no slaves built no pyramids, and I want anybody who think otherwise to come sit right here. Ain't no slaves built no pyramids. You couldn't get that type of architecture and perfection done, you know what I'm saying, from forced labor. Even though the United States was built on forced labor and it got some good architecture, but it ain't lined up like the pyramids. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what we bringing to y'all live, and I really want you guys to rock with me and fill me out. I'm also going to introduce you guys some of my poetry. I'm in with a poem. I'm trying to figure out which one I'm going to end with. There was one I just wrote. I'm not going to drop anything new on y'all. You know, I'm going to just drop a little introduction poem. All right. It's untitled because it really started as a song. I might even do the next song, you know, depending on how people is feeling. But I'm going to get you guys right here. It's an introduction of your boy. I never had a lot. I have to work for what I get. My mom's had 2 jobs just so we kept the residence. My shoes had holes with the shower post bent. To put up with what I have, you must be heaven sent. Now no one knows, but you all have a clue. If you want to see what you believe, then look at what you do. We all have dreams but never dare to pursue, and the answer for failure is called your excuse. Bless.